Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Killer Film Reviews. It's been a minute, hasn't it? We are getting into the film everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once, which has the cast of Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn Wang, Stephanie Hsu as Joy Wang, Ki Hoi Kwan as Wayman Wang, James Hong as Gong Gong, Jamie Lee Curtis as DeAndre Brody, Tally Medell as Becky Strager, Jenny Slate as Dogmong, Harry Shem as Chad, Bill Wifdrick, Santia Mani as Queen, Aaron Lazar as Soldier, Brian Lee as Trophy. A lot of people here. We're just focusing on four of them. This film was directed by Dan Kwan and Daniel Schneinert. Okay. Writers Dan Kwan, Daniel Schneider again. Alright. This film pretty much goes everywhere. It goes everything everywhere, always at once. Literally, it does. Like, you literally get... basically, the premise is that you got, like, this older mom, Evelyn, that's been trying to sit there and get her daughter to just conform to traditions in the family. In one way or another, her father pretty much is not of the current generation, doesn't really understand anything, was really strict on Evelyn. Evelyn kind of has a husband, you know, and the husband, she really likes him, but she feels that maybe things would be better if he wasn't in the life. There's like divorce papers or whatever drawn up. Yeah, Wayman pretty much like sits there and is the primary focal point of the start of the film. So he's an alternate version of him, basically gets Michelle into seeing there's an evil version of her daughter that's out there that is Tobacco. It's Tobacco pretty much. Joy Wang pretty much LBGT. She's got a friend named Becky pretty much that is her significant other. The mom doesn't quite approve, you can kind of tell, but hey, we're in modern times, folks. Like, this stuff's pretty much the norm now. Like, everybody's got a preference. It's fine. It's fine. Modern times. Evelyn pretty much is trying to sit there and trying to get the taxes done with her husband Raymond. When this all occurs, she's basically bored out of her mind, like blah 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 blah. She's bored, and then suddenly alternate version of her husband just sits there and appears out of nowhere. Like, okay, we should backtrack a bit. So like, they're in the elevator going up to the tax office, and the alternate version of the husband appears from the Alphaverse. Pretty much is like, Evelyn, listen to me, blah blah. You're doesn't say that it's the daughter Joy. It's like Tobacco something or whatever. And basically, he's trying to sit there and get her to listen to him. And basically, he gives her the device that lets her take skills of alternate timelines, pretty much. Alternate universes, they put it, but I'm just going to say alternate timelines as it makes more sense to say it that way. As that's really what it seems like, and this one is like alternate timelines. Like, each different choice has a different outcome, and you have to do various different things to get the skills from the other timelines, or other universes, as it were. Doing stuff like, what was it? Like breaking a finger or whatever. And there was another one where it was like, one of the characters actually sat there and did a number 1 on themselves to get the different outcomes. And basically, like, Tobacco is like the main antagonist. He's the main enemy. Basically, the whole film kind of just goes through Evelyn's life and the different timelines while she's also trying to redeem her daughter, Joy. You see the husband in different timelines. One timeline where he's like, where they like basically split off, and she basically becomes like a famous movie star. Another timeline where there's like a raccoon controlling a chef. Another timeline where people have hot dog hands, and suddenly Evelyn's in love with the tax lady. There is everything in this film. It is just such a great film, honestly. Honestly, I was gonna take somebody to see this film, but that kind of fell through, to say the least. But enough on that. Mainly, I want to get this out because it's been a long week, and I kind of promised you Sonya I'd get this out faster. It's been a bit, but yeah, this film basically kind of just focuses on the what if of life, pretty much. Like Evelyn and Raymond, it focuses heavily on them and their daughter Joy. Basically, main part of the film, I would say, the first half is basically focused on Evelyn learning to control the powers while meeting an alternate version of her father that basically is oh, go kill your daughter, save all the timelines by killing her, blah blah blah. Obviously, she doesn't do that. She loves her daughter very much, so she doesn't go through with doing that. Another flip side of things, it's kind of you kind of have two different enemies come out, right? You got the daughter Joy, that is the darn protagonist, is the darn alright. Yeah. Basically, the whole film kind of focuses on the message of love. Love towards, your fellow human being. That's what I kind of feel like one of the main things is. The relationship between mother and daughter is definitely a strong point in this because, like I said, the first half is focused on just Evelyn learning to control the powers, talking with Raymond, alternate versions of him, trying to sit there and figure out all this. She basically sits there and tries to learn all the different powers by doing random funny things. The daughter, Joy, which is Tabaku something, is the main enemy in the film. Then you got the Alphaverse people, which are mad at Evelyn for learning all the powers, pretty much, for going beyond what they told her to do, pretty much. Honestly, it just feels like we're dealing with maybe there's a little small amount of old society versus new society conflict in here on the sideline, I would say. Not too much as you would think, but yeah. I think the film has definitely a lot of funny moments, such as the hot dog fingers one. There's a play scene that Evelyn sees at the start of the film. I want to pay attention to that. The washing machine that you see at the start of the film, pay attention to that. That comes to play later. What else? Basically, Evelyn slowly realizes how much she loves her husband Raymond and that she doesn't want to leave him. I'm trying to think who filed the divorce papers. I think it was Evelyn herself. I want to say that filed them, or it was Raymond. Basically, they're almost going to lose their laundromat business over it. You see the different timelines where Evelyn's a famous movie star, chef, say hibachi chef kind of a deal. Famous movie star, kung fu martial artist kind of timeline. Basically, it all comes to a head in the second half when Evelyn is trying to sit there and redeem her daughter, which is Joy, which is Tabaku something. Honestly, I'm trying to think of the name, but it's not coming to me at the moment. You eventually get to a point where Evelyn is kind of going head to head with her daughter in different universes. I want to say my favorite one was the Rock universe. You kind of get what I mean. This film has many wacky random moments which really just keep your attention on the screen. You got to be paying attention to everything going on. You'll get little references here and there. There's so many funny moments it's not even funny. There's even a scene with 18 plus objects, pretty much 18 plus things or whatever, and they're sitting there doing stuff like that, and they're just basically going ham. And Evelyn and Joy have the power to just change to different versions of themselves by doing random things. Eventually, Evelyn gets to the point of mastery where Joy is at, the alternate version of Joy. She gets to the point of mastery and then just continue to flip through different universes. It's hilarious as hell. I don't want to give away all the different universes because it's gonna spoil the film too much. Honestly, if the film focuses on the purpose of life, the very purpose of life, is life just to pay bills and be bored all the time, or is there more to it? Does nothing matter, or does everything matter? Does nothing matter? Does everything matter? Pay attention to that when throughout the film. Ultimately, there is some deaths in this film that you will expect and not expect. I'm not going to give those away for obvious reasons. Was this film one of those ones that I really did enjoy? Yes. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for me because it had me laughing. I was like, yay, I'm going to sit there and conquer the seas a day after this, pretty much. And real life, it didn't happen, of course, but you know, things happen. It was one of the few films that like left a happy feeling in me. It was a lot better than Crimes of the Future. Crimes of the Future, terrible film, did not enjoy it. I'll get into that one later. As that I start getting into that, that's gonna put us heavily into kind of bad territory. That film review, long story short, is gonna have to be 18 plus restricted, no doubt. Very freaky film, if I do say so myself. But I've also thought about it. I think I'm gonna give my review on The Last Duel. It's gonna be a lot shorter than a typical movie review because it's been so long and there's so many plot details I've forgotten. So I have to refresh myself on the plot details. It'll be a shorter review than normal, as I'm going to have to... As there was some graphic scenes which I did not like in that film. But this was one of the few films that was R, and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, definitely the heaviest focus is definitely on what matters and what doesn't matter in life. Love, hate, relationships. There's like the washing machine. You really want to pay attention to the washing machine. It really comes into play because you're like looking at the cycle of life kind of when you're looking at the washing machine. Is there something beyond that? Is there not something beyond that? Those are the kind of things you have to pay attention to in the film. Is there any sort of parts I wish that would change? I kind of wish there was like a video game universe in there somewhere, honestly. Because like video games, we get like 4 channels focused on video games. I've kind of lost track now. Honestly, like, even YouTube itself has changed. And, like, I've noticed different sort of YouTubers going at it or whatever. I've noticed and I paid attention, but unfortunately it seems if you mention the name of said events that you, like, risk, like, bad things happening to your channel, so I'm not going to mention the name of the events. Anyone that's been paying attention to Cam Monster One's channel knows what I'm talking about. On the flip side of things, you know, I just want YouTube to be an open platform for people to post videos. I don't think that people should have the ability to use the DMCA tool unless they really have copyright material. Like, there should be a cost to use that tool so people can't just sit there and spam it. Some kind of cost. I would say something like there's a cooldown period on it. That's what I wish they would do, a cooldown period, so that people can't sit there and abuse it. Cooldown period. But yeah, I feel like the whole platform is going to change because of that. Otherwise, everything everywhere all at once was good. Yes. It had me laughing like you wouldn't believe. One of the few times I was actually laughing this week. Ugh, man, that's such a long week. Been working so hard at work. Hey. It's just like, oof. Got 3 days down, 1 more day to go when I'm sitting there and recording this. But man, are they just working me hard. Man, it feels like sometimes I can barely keep up. But yeah, you know, was this film review eventually, was this going to be intended for a certain somebody? Maybe at one point, but honestly, mainly this film review is being done for Sonya. Because honestly, you've been waiting a little bit, Sonya, and I finally got it done. I haven't been live streaming too much because it's been tuckered out, but hope to see you in the next live stream, Sonya. I always appreciate you, and Straz will always be in all the live streams. You guys are cool. Honestly, you know, I think that for the future film reviews, obviously we're going to have to get in the pipeline right now. What I'm thinking is, I already finished off Transformers last night, so obviously I'm going to do that. Obviously I'm going to do Crimes of the Future. I'm going to get that Last Duel up, I would say, but it's going to be shorter as it's been so long since I've seen the film. Thought about doing a Sons of Anarchy review, honestly, but it's been too long since I've seen that, and I've obviously forgotten some detail over time. I don't know. I got to think about the reviews we do. I've been watching through Kenobi, so we're probably going to have a review on that in 2 weeks when that finishes. Miss Marvel, I tried to watch. I could barely get through 5 minutes of it. I don't think we're going to be doing a review on that, unless I can somehow watch it and actually get through it. Honestly, at the present, I just feel like that's going to be a far-off thing if I ever do finish that out. We'll see. Anyway, take care until next time. Don't forget to like, watch, and subscribe. Appreciate all you guys. Have a great day.